All praise is due to Allah, we praise Him, we seek His aid and we ask for His forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from the evils of ourselves and the evils of our actions. Whomsoever Allah guides, none can misguide, and whomsoever Allah leaves to go astray, none can guide. And I bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah alone, who has no partners, and I bear witness that Muhammad is His servant and His messenger. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a new episode of your show, For the Sake of Allah. I am Moutasem Al Hameedi. We have with us today our brothers, Brother Muhammad and Brother Abdul Rahman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are talking about the rights of brothers who are close to you, which we call some kind of, it's a higher form of brotherhood. Those who are around you, those are the brothers with whom you mix and you help one another in terms of doing righteousness and improving in terms of the religion and in terms of faith. So these brothers, they have rights. The rest of the brothers, they don't have rights because they are close to you. They mix with you most of the time, so they have other rights. Now, Muhammad, you have close friends, definitely, those who are mainly with you. Do you feel that it's a kind of different or a higher brotherhood that you have with them than the rest of the Muslims? All of it is brotherhood for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but because of your mixing with them most of the time, because they help you in terms of your religion and in terms of righteousness, does this give them a special place in your heart?
I think, Sheikh, you said the key word. It's like mixing with them. So I'm like with them most of the time. After work, I mean, like we spend time together, inshallah, practicing Islam and maybe hanging out together. So it's like mixing with them is the key word for it. It's like it's being there most of the time. If not every day, then every other day.
So they have a special place in your heart.
Yes,
than the rest of the people.
Of course.
What do you think, Brother Abdul Rahman?
I agree, of course, with Brother Muhammad, because the fact that we see most of the days we see each other, and we could share the same problems. We're maybe in the same environment, so all this makes us, of course, closer than brothers, of course, that are my brothers, but in another country, who I don't even know the names, but they're still my brothers, and I still pray for them. If they need me, inshallah, I'll try to go and be there for them. But of course, the closest, the brothers, the more personal it is.
Yes.
And the more rights there is.
Yeah. So, mashallah, it seems clear that those with whom you hang around most of the time, because, and as I said, because you help one another upon righteousness, they have a special place in your heart. They have more love than the others because this brotherhood has materialized. We see it every day. We can see its beautiful influence on our character, on our religion, and we have built that bridge of trust between us because I know him by heart. I know that person by heart. He's my brother. I know how he would behave. This is how close sometimes the brothers get. So these people, I mean, when brotherhood reaches this high level, there are other rights incumbent upon the person towards his brother, different than the general rights that we know. One of these, for example, we know that throughout this life, one day you have to fall in hardship, and especially we can say financial hardship, especially today, the way people live today. It's very likely that a person would fall in a financial hardship some time or another throughout his life. So, do you think that the brothers who are close to you, those who are really, you consider to be the best of your brothers, the best of your friends, would you really consider helping them or give them special treatment when it comes to helping them out with money?
Of course.
Yes.
To tell you the truth, in this point of time, I am in debt. It's been 6 months. I owe some brother of mine some money. So it appears that he helped me out. So at this point,
MashaAllah.
since 6 months. So Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, that's a good brother I can rely on. So it's a fact.
And that's a proof of the true brotherhood. I mean, if he's only with me when I'm good, in a good financial status, that means he's not really a brother. Because if he cares about me when there's a problem, financial problem, then he's beside me, and he may lend me money or even give me money. That's a real brother, and this is what Islam even wants.
And he can be patient with you because he knows your situation.
And even sometimes I know brothers that could give you money, and sometimes I gave money.
Yeah, sure, it happens a lot. But the point also that he's patient because he accepts
He's
you
patient.
as a brother.
He doesn't make you feel bad. He's not, come on, I need the money.
Yeah.
Like some brothers would do. They'll make it.
That's true.
They'll make their relationship even get.
You see, I am not worried.
Weaker.
I'm not worried. I want to pay the debt, of course, but I'm not worried about him.
Because he's not bothering you about it all the time, reminding you of that.
And also, because he's a brother, you also forgive us. For example, if it occurs that we die, and we didn't pay the debt, he'll forgive us.
That's true.
But if we do it with a stranger or with the bank, I mean, it was not without interest, without riba, they won't forgive us.
You know that the Prophet ﷺ, he said one day in a hadith to the companions, he said, don't scare yourself with debts. Because debt, is a big burden. Always at the back of your head, all the time, you can't sleep because of that debt. In Islam has set regulations so that the person doesn't fall in debt. First of all, Allah directed us to moderation when we spend our money, so you don't fall into financial hardships. And Allah warned us against al-israf, extravagancy, that you spend your money, squander your money for no reason. So this is why Allah said, وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. And don't squander your money, don't be excessive in the way you spend your money. Allah does not like the ones who commit excess, especially in spending their wealth, because this will lead you one day to lose all your wealth. So you will need to ask people. You need to ask them for money, ask them to help you out.
That's true.
So Islam wants to protect you from that situation. And also Islam will direct us to make our own living. So you don't sit back at home and you wait for people to help you, or you borrow money from this person or that brother. It doesn't make sense. The Prophet ﷺ said the best thing a person eats from is what he has earned himself through his own work. So Islam doesn't want us to fall into debts. But if it happens, there are regulations, and we should be committed to our agreements when we borrow money from others. Now, the scholars said there are 3 levels for these brothers who are very special. 3 levels. The first level, which was demonstrated by the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, is that you give him precedence over yourself. As Allah said, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصًا. And they give their brothers precedence over themselves, even though they are in need. They need that money. Who did that? The Ansar, the people of Al-Madinah, the Ansar. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described them in the Quran. He said, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصًا. They give their brothers precedence over themselves, even though they are in need.
MashaAllah.
So, for example, one of them, he has a number of dates, he gives it to his brother, although he is hungry, but he gives it to his brother. This is the highest level of brotherhood. The highest level, which is al-ithar. Al-ithar. Okay. Then comes after this, the second level, which is a lower level, which is to share that money or the wealth you have with your brother. And many of the Ansar did that during the Mu'akha. They split their money into 2 halves, and they gave the Muhajirun the other half. And this is a very difficult level to reach. So what do you think about the first one? It's really difficult. If someone comes to you now, you've been working hard, let's say for 6-7 years, you've been saving money, working hard in order, let's say, to buy your own house or to buy your own car. And a brother comes to you and he says to you, I'm in a very tight spot. Financially, I'm really in a very bad situation. Can you help me in that? Now you have to choose. What do you choose? Is it to buy my own house, to buy my own car, or shall I give this brother precedence over myself? Well, the highest level is to give him the money and just hope for the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lend him that money. I don't say give him, because that is a really high level.
Yes.
Give him that money, okay? Just lend him that money, okay? But the brother, actually, he should really help his brother out without making it a debt thing, or without asking the brother to give it back to him. This is the highest. But if you can't, your financial situation is not really that good, you've been saving this money for some time, it's your right to tell him to give it back to you after some time. Now, so the highest level is to give your brother precedence over yourself. The second level is to split the money into two halves. Give him half and keep half for yourself. It's not as a loan, but you can just give it to him.
Yeah.
And the lowest level, but it's still a high level, these are the rights within this brotherhood, which is special.
Yes.
Okay, is if you have some money, you have some good wealth, and you can employ your brother, so you can give him a job, and he can look after himself. So he does work for you, you pay him, and you have delivered him from a very bad situation. That's a good level as well. That's a good level. So really, the Muslims, they should do this. They should try to help one another.
They should even do. Sometimes there's some Islamic organizations that even do that. They help youngsters to get married who have financial problems, and who they help to employ even Muslim brothers. And we need that more organizations and bigger multinational organizations.
Yeah. So these are the three levels now the scholars, they have set as in terms of special brotherhood, special type of brotherhood. Brothers who are close to you, very close, the brothers who help you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This shows to us, how Islam really, is concerned about this brotherhood. The Muslim should be concerned about his brothers. He should be concerned about those around you.
It's true.
It's really beautiful, and we will mention, inshallah, beautiful examples of the early generations, how they helped one another and how they dealt with one another with regards to bad financial situation, and how they demonstrated a very, very elegant and very high and elevated, examples for all of us, which shows how Islam makes better people, makes a better society, creates better individuals. And we see the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has put among His servants, with which they have mercy upon one another and they help one another. And we will see how this bond becomes really strong and firm. Inshallah, we'll elaborate more on this, but we will stop for a few minutes. I say to our viewers, stay tuned, we'll come back shortly, inshallah.
ولله الأسماء الحسنى فادعوه بها
Al-Aziz, the Almighty. Al-Wadud, the All-Loving. At-Tawwab, the Acceptor of your return. Al-Razzaq, the Provider. Al-Raqib, the All-Watchful. وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. To Allah belongs the beautiful names. فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. So call Him upon them. To understand more of Allah's beautiful names, join me, your brother Majid Mahmood, on my new series about understanding Allah's beautiful names on Peace TV.
الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى.
Don't miss the chance to comprehend the seamless explanation of Allah's beautiful names in Understanding Allah's Beautiful Names. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. and repeat telecast at 11:30 a.m. India on Peace TV. Thursdays provide.
In Britain, we are facing one big problem, that are you Muslim or British?
The space to talk.
In India, back home, they ask, are you a Muslim first or Indian first? And we Muslims should know how to reply, how to turn the tables over.
The place to knock.
Why Trinity cannot be regarded in that sense. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
The opportunity to ask.
But even if we agree that what the Christians say, that he was crucified, so if Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, died for 3 days, who controlled the world? That means even God died?
The freedom to unmask.
So there are various ways which we can prove the argument to be wrong.
Let's meet Dr. Zakir every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 9:30 a.m. India on Peace TV.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. So we have seen how the scholars made it clear to us, and they classified the 3 levels of special brotherhood and how beautiful these examples are. Do you know, from the examples that I recall from the people of the early generations, there was one of the righteous people called Masruq. He was a well-known person, Masruq, and he had a brother in Islam. His name was Khaythama. Now, Masruq, he had a debt to pay off, and he's been trying to pay off that debt for a long time, but he didn't really manage to pay that debt. And his brother Khaythama, he wasn't his blood brother, but he was his brother for the sake of Allah. He had another debt to pay off as well. So both of them, they knew about each other's debts. So one day some money came, or Masruq he saved some money, so he wanted to pay off his debt. What did he do? He went and he paid the debt of his brother for the sake of Allah, Khaythama. He paid his debt off. And he didn't really, give precedence to himself over his brother, but he went and he paid off the debt of his brother. And then he found out at the same time that Khaythama had some money, and he went and he paid off the debt of Masruq. So each of them, he thought of his brother's debts before thinking about himself.
Mashallah.
Yes. I tell you, this is really a very hard example to find today, and even at any time. See, people, I have a debt. I would really hasten to pay my debt off.
Yes, sure.
But subhanAllah, you see how they thought of one another? They had that beautiful love for one another, that if you have a debt, Muhammad, or I have a debt on me, so I go and pay Muhammad's debt. This is how Islam wants us to be. And you can imagine how the world would be if Muslims have spread the religion of Islam. You see, if Islam is really implemented, how beautiful the world becomes. But people don't realize the beauty of Al-Islam. Now, another story that comes to me as well. One of the early generations, one person, a righteous person, he said, well, if you come to your brother and you tell him that I need some money, can you lend me some money? And he asks you, what do you want it for? Then, listen to what he said. He said, make 4 takbirat on him, because your brother is dead. See? Because his love is dead.
Yeah.
He shouldn't ask you, what do you want it for? You see the high level of brotherhood they have?
If the brother, for example, may use it, maybe he's a brother that has some jahiliyyah in him, or he may use it in haram.
That's a very good question, Abdurrahman. Do you know why?
What about that?
Because we are talking about special brotherhood. You know the brother exactly.
Okay.
You know he is,
yes.
you know his high morals.
Yes.
So you don't ask him what do you want it for, because you trust him.
Okay.
If we were talking about general brotherhood, that's very important to do.
I got that.
You have
point,
to see if a brother really, some brothers, because some brothers are weak, they might use the money to do something evil. So you have to be careful when you give them money, and you make sure you're not helping them to fall into sin. But with special brothers, you know them, you trust them, you know what they are. So you give him because you trust him, because you know him. But it just demonstrates that I don't want even to, make you shy when I ask you, what do you want the money for? And even some scholars, they said that with brothers, the case is, if you leave your brother to become in need and come and ask you, then you are not good to him. You are not good enough to him.
So we should even go ask him before he comes ask us for money. We go and ask him, do you need money?
Yeah, well, this is the second level, is just to check whether he has money and give it to him.
Inshallah.
And the highest level, is whenever you see that he might fall in hardship, is that you protect him from that by means of your money, before it happens to him. You see how the Muslim scholars, they went to really, high altitudes in terms of really brotherhood.
Yes.
Something we can hardly see today.
He's your brother, so most of the case you'll be knowing what happening to him.
Yeah.
So you'll be following up on his news every once in a while.
Yeah,
So,
subhanallah.
inshallah,
So you see, I mean, this is the kind of brotherhood. Have you come across examples like this? Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you come across examples where really people would sacrifice their own interests for the sake of their brothers. Can you remember anything, any incident that happened where really people would do that sacrifice, take that step, and it needs iman, needs real love? Have you seen something, Muhammad?
I recall a case, it happened also in the masjid, alhamdulillah, but also it was like for brothers abroad. There was a da'iyah having a meeting with a businessman, and he was like in need of money, helping out other brothers in a nearby country also. My examples are in nearby countries, alhamdulillah. So this businessman just opened up the safe, and it was like having lots of foreign currency, not a local currency, so exchange rate would be higher for us. And he told them, just take what you want and give it to the brothers. So it was this really happened.
MashaAllah.
So,
MashaAllah.
alhamdulillah.
So we can still see up to date.
Yes.
Some people really demonstrating high Islamic character, a really high Islamic character where they implement this beautiful form of brotherhood.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
And they make it real.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
And also this family, mashallah, God gave them wealth, so they helped the son of their ex security guard, because he died. They helped him to go into school, to get married, through his whole life. And that is wonderful, of course, to help a whole family that will bring families and generations. MashaAllah.
So we still hear about good stories, alhamdulillah. Maybe not giving out all the money like the companions, alhamdulillah,
Yes,
but
they
still.
have the best stories, of course.
But there's something we have to bear in mind as well. I mean, when you give your brother from your money, don't keep reminding him of that. This is what we call in Islam al-man. That you keep reminding him, you remember the money that I gave you, remember the gift that I gave you? Some people have this character.
Yeah.
Remember that, you remember that. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, even if you give charity and you keep talking to the people and reminding them of your favor upon them, then this will take away the reward that Allah has given you. It shows that you haven't done that for the sake of Allah. There's a story that is mentioned by some scholars in his books. It's a funny story. It says that a man gave a gift to his brother that was a chicken. One chicken, he gave it to him. And all the time, he made this chicken as a focus point or a focal point. He said to him, everything, for example, they were walking together. Well, they saw a cow, for example. So his brother said, this is a beautiful cow. He said, oh yes, this is a really beautiful cow, but the chicken that I gave you was more beautiful. Then every time he would see something, oh, this is a beautiful house. Yeah, but the chicken I gave you is more beautiful than that. So everything, every time, with every occasion, he would just take the example of that chicken and say, so, and even one day, they were sitting together, and his brother said, when so-and-so visited us and we had some good time together, he said, oh yeah, that was 4 days just after I gave you the chicken. So everything is about the chicken. We don't want to follow that example of the chicken.
That's a funny
Sheikh,
one.
for instance, like for example, if someone lended money to a brother, and afterwards he really needs the money back because he got into a financial problem also. So in that case, how does he react? Does he ask the brother a lot?
Well, what it is, he should see his brother's financial situation. Can he pay off the debt? If he can, then he should go to him and politely ask him for the money. And explain his situation. He says, brother, well, I helped you, and I'm really now in a bad financial situation. Well, I need my money back. Can you pay that? If you can't pay it, it's okay. Allah will open a way for him. وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and has taqwa, Allah will make a way out for him. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. Inshallah, as long, just be open to your brothers, and if this brother can't pay off the debt, you can resort to another brother. Inshallah, Allah will open a way for you.
Inshallah.
So you see how, I mean, Islam is really, really beautiful when it comes to this brotherhood.
Yes.
this brotherhood. These are beautiful examples we have come across. Inshallah, we will try to be like that. We'll try to give an example for the Muslims and for the non-Muslims so that they can see what Islam really is and what character Islam wants us to have. So it is our obligation, and it's not a matter of choice that you can choose to say, no, I want to behave the way I want. No, you carry a message and you have to demonstrate to the people what Al-Islam is. If you don't do that, who's going to do it?
That's what we heritated from the Prophet Sallallahu
Sallallahu
Alaihi
Alaihi
the
Wasallam.
message.
Yeah, that's it. So we have to carry this message, uphold it, and spread it to the people by our example first. That we act upon that and we give a very good example and we demonstrate that to the people. So we say, inshallah, hopefully we will benefit from this
Ameen.
and implement it in our lives and be good examples for the people to follow. Jazakumullah khairan for your contributions. And we say to our viewers, Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah make us better examples for all of people so that they come to understand what Islam really is. And I say at the end, Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.